The Fur Country by Jules Verne. Chapter 24. Conclusion. It was on the island of Bleginie, the last of the Aleutian group, at the extreme south of Bering Sea, that all the colonists of Fort Hope had at last landed, after having traversed 1800 miles since the breaking up of the ice. They were hospitably received by some Aleutian fishermen who had hurried to their assistance, and were soon able to communicate with some English agents of the Hudson's Bay Company. After all the details we had given, it is needless to dwell on the courage and energy of the brave little band, which had proved itself worthy of its noble leader. We know how all struggled with their misfortunes, and how patiently they had submitted to the will of God. We have seen Mrs Barnett cheering every one by her example and sympathy, and we know that neither she nor those with her yielded to despair when the peninsula on which Fort Hope had been built was converted into a wandering island, when that island became an islet, and the islet a strip of ice, or even when that strip of ice was melting beneath the combined influence of sun and waves. If the scheme of the company was a failure, if the new fort had perished, no one could possibly blame Hobson or his companions, who had gone through such extraordinary and unexpected trials. Of the 19 persons under the lieutenant's charge, not one was missing, and he had even 2 new members in his little colony, Kalumah and Mrs Barnett's godson, Michael Mac Nab. 6 days after their rescue, the shipwrecked mariners arrived at New Archangel, the capital of Russian America. Here the friends, bound together by so many dangers shared, must part, probably for ever. Hobson and his men were to return to Fort Reliance across English America, whilst Mrs Barnett, accompanied by Kalumah, who would not leave her, Madge, and Thomas Black, intended to go back to Europe via San Francisco and the United States. But whilst they were still all together, the lieutenant, addressing Mrs Barnett, said with considerable emotion, "God bless you, madam, for all you have been to us. You have been our comforter, our consoler, the very soul of our little world, and I thank you in the name of all." 3 cheers for Mrs Barnett greeted this speech, and each soldier begged to shake her by the hand, whilst the women embraced her affectionately. The lieutenant himself had conceived so warm an affection for the lady who had so long been his friend and counsellor, that he could not bid her good-bye without great emotion. "Can it be that we shall never meet again?" he exclaimed. "No, lieutenant," replied Mrs Barnett. "We shall meet again. If you do not come and see me in Europe, I will come back to you at Fort Reliance, or to the new factory you will found some day yet." On hearing this, Thomas Black, who had regained the use of his tongue since he had landed on terra firma, came forward and said, with an air of the greatest conviction, "Yes, we shall meet again in 36 years. My friends, I miss the eclipse of 1860, but I will not miss that which will take place under exactly similar conditions in the same latitudes in 1896, and therefore I appoint a meeting with you, lieutenant, and with you, my dear madam, on the confines of the Arctic Ocean 36 years hence." End of chapter 24. And end of part 2. End of The Fur Country by Jules Verne.